So, been pretty busy last night and today. So yesterday I told you I got a lawnmower in and it was out the same day. He wanted me to put a carburetor, well he wanted me to clean a carburetor, but he brought a HIPAA carburetor and I decided to just go ahead and use the HIPAA. It would have been more cost effective than rebuilding that OEM one. And it left here running great. I ran it up and down the road, it was doing fine. There was nothing wrong with it. No surging, nothing. Well, he brings it back and says it's not running right. Now remember, he asked me to put a carburetor on. It was his carburetor, his idea to change it. I didn't make any decisions on that. That was all his. He says, not running right. So I bring it back down here and I start fiddling with it. The carburetor, I'll get one here. This is the carburetor. This is the intake manifold. This is the thing he wanted me to change. The intake manifold takes it from the carburetor, the fuel air mixture, and puts it into the cylinder right through here. So it was surging. Well, the problem he was having was he had to run it on choke. That's what it was. So I sprayed some starting fluid here, right here, where this gap is, and it ran better. So that means this has went bad. These two go bad, and it's plastic. And when you break the original seal, these can warp. So while it was here, it was running great, but he went out and mowed with it and it got hot and it warped. So it was sucking air in here and it was diluting the fuel air mixture. So it was getting too much air, not enough fuel. So yeah, there's a gasket here. So I tightened it up real tight, and I could run it off of choke now. It ran fine, other than it was surging pretty bad. And I sprayed it here and the surging went away. So I messaged him and say, I'm going to give you your money back. And I'll explain why I said that. I said, I'll get it running, but I'm going to give you your money back. So I had another one and I thought I'd just trade it out. It was warped too. So I sat there and I sanded it on a flat surface like this to try to smooth that out. And I did. And the surging got better, but not good enough. It really needed a new one of these. So I called him up and I said, look, well actually it ran fine with the mower deck on, but it surged with the mower deck off. This engine was for 2002, and it was before they came out with the current model of Briggs & Stratton engine. It was the one model before it. Didn't have the oil pump, and I mean it did have overhead valves, but it is an old engine. And as you know, I've been having to, the industry calls it a basket case. I think that's silly. I don't like using industry terms. I think it's silly. But for lack of a better term at the moment, let's just call it a basket case. I've had 2 basket cases, meaning they're old lawnmowers. They've been sitting around for years. They're junk, and I've been trying to fix them up. I had some success with one, I think. I mean, he hasn't called and complained. And the other one I told you about, it was it was a bit of a problem. And no, I didn't tell you about it. I was actually being vague, so let's just leave it at that. I'll just keep it at vague. I won't go into details. And so I'm really on this edge about taking on old lawnmowers. So I gave him his money back, and I said, I'm not going to work on this. I'm not going to warranty it. I'm not going to work on it. It's just too old. And I explained the whole situation of why I was making this decision. He says, oh, no, you can pay it. So he didn't want his money back, so he says, but I didn't give him any choice. I just tucked it down there by the battery and on the lawnmower. He saw me do it. I mean, it's not like he took it out and gave it back to me, but he knew that he wanted that money back. And it wasn't a lot of money, that's the thing. But that's the thing. It wasn't a lot of money. You know, I don't charge a lot to switch out a carburetor. But I spent all day working on it because of this. Now, I know that there are going to be trolls out there said, well, that's a whole separate issue. Maybe not even trolls. Maybe just legitimate people saying that's a whole separate issue. He needs to pay for that. Okay. Fine. But he wasn't going to. See, this is where I have a struggle with the audience and reality. The audience sees this from my perspective. But the real perspective is the customer's perspective. And that's the only one that matters. And it's the one I try to get across to you a lot. In a small town like this, how many customers are there? Not a lot. As a matter of fact, I had a troll just yesterday. I don't believe that you get that many lawnmowers. Well, I don't even know what he's talking about, that I get that many lawnmowers. What, 2 a week? 3 a week? Some weeks a little bit more. Most weeks are less. So, yeah, there's just not a lot of customers for me to go around and getting a bad reputation. And that's what's going to happen. I told that guy to change out a carburetor and he couldn't even do that. He's terrible. It runs like junk. And I spent X amount of dollars to do it. And he won't fix it. And, you know, just whatever. I might be in the right. That, you know, I could just reply in the comments, well, okay, but the second issue you were having was a completely different issue. He didn't see it that way. He saw it as the same issue. Otherwise, he would have said, you know I told you to replace that carburetor, and I know I gave you the carburetor, and I didn't give you any liberties to fix whatever else might be wrong with it. So I'm going to bring this back, and I want you to tell me what's wrong with it and fix it, and I'll pay you. No, he says, it's not running right. I have to run it on choke. You need to fix this. Didn't offer money, so it was a warranty. He clearly was trying to get a warranty. And as soon as I got here and I realized it wasn't the carburetor, it wasn't. And the thing is, even if it was the carburetor, let's just say it was the carburetor. What am I going to do about it? Nothing. There's nothing I can do about it. It's his carburetor. He bought it. He has to return it. But no, that's not what he would have expected. He would have expected me to buy a new carburetor on my dime. But I ended up spending, I guess he brought it back 3:30, 4 o'clock. I ended up working on it till 5:30 last night. Then got up this morning, worked on it some more till about 9 o'clock. So maybe 7 to 9, so another 2 hours trying to get that manifold to work. I got it good enough that it would work for mowing, but it's still leaking by and it's still going to collect up dirt. I told him that. So there is a difference, and this is where I struggle. So I took a mower back today. It had a broken belt, and I explained to her that the belt was just overloaded. I gave her a higher quality belt this time, but the belt, you know, that's not a warranty item. She has used it, and she ran into something, you know. I can't say what it is. I don't know, but it pulled the belt apart. I think I showed you that yesterday. And she was okay with that. I mean, she didn't want to pay the money, but she understood that it really wasn't anything I could do to prevent. And while I was taking that mower over there, I get a call from this guy who had his mower over here twice. It's an old Craftsman, probably early 2000s. And he uses it like a brush hog. And he clearly says, I use this like a brush hog. I probably should go buy a brush hog one of these days. But in the meantime, you're going to have to fix it. So the first time he brought it over and the belt was broke and the spindle was broke. There was just a lot wrong with it. I needed new belts or blades. So I did all that. Changed it all out. A few weeks later, he calls me back, says, I hit a stump. And so I went and picked it up. Spindle's broke. The blade's completely bent over. So I had to replace everything I just replaced. And he was okay with it. Yeah, fix it. So I fixed it. Well, today he calls while I'm delivering that lawnmower and says, pin fell out or something. He says, no, it wasn't a pin. It says the spring has fallen off. Anyway, you can take a look at it. Yeah, I'll go take a look at it. So after I dropped off the mower, he was in the area on our way back home. We had to go outside just a little bit. I think it was 4 or 5 miles in a different direction. So we went over there. He had it sitting out in front of the yard. And I looked up underneath there and a pin had fallen out. That's all it was. I put the pin back. It's running. Well, actually, I didn't even have a pin. I just took an old nail and stuck it in there and temporarily. He knew that's what I was doing. But it wasn't a warranty item. And since I didn't actually use a pin, I didn't charge him. So he says, well, let me give you some money anyways. No, it's okay. And he says, well, doesn't matter. You're going to end up getting this thing back one of these days anyways. So he's aware that he abuses it. He knows that he messes it up. So he pays. And I was telling him this. We was walking to get the hammer so I could pull a nail out of a board so I could use the nail. And he says, how's business? I said, well, it's been pretty, rough with the customers here lately. Oh, he said, really? You do such good work. Every time I've given you something, you bring it back and it runs better like it new. And so I was explaining that, he understands that he has an old mower and he roughhouses it. But it doesn't seem like there's that many other people that realize that's what they do. They got an old mower and they want it to run like new. And he said, I know exactly what you mean. He said, I used to sell used cars. And you'd sell a guy a car for $3,000 and he'd expect to make it to Seattle back in record time and then get mad when it didn't. And what do you expect? You spent $3,000 on a junk piece of car. Well, that's exactly what they're doing, except there's a minor difference. They know they're buying a junk piece of car or a mower. And they expect me to make it better than new. And they want the warranty better than the new warranty. When you buy a new lawnmower and you leave gasoline in the carburetor, you take it in, you wanted to get it fixed on warranty, Briggs says, no, you left gas in it. That's not a warranted item. But they expect me to warranty it. I had one guy do the same thing, put a brand new carburetor on it, was running great, he cut his yard, had a good time with it. He left it out in the rain got in the gas tank, and it wouldn't start. And he wanted that warranted. He wanted it fixed. And I didn't have the, I went over to his place. I said, I don't have the evidence to prove to you that there's water in the gas, but I can assure you there's water in the gas. Well, I don't see how it's my fault. Well, you left it out in the rain. That's how it's your fault. So, I had to give his money back because he was just going to throw a stink. I ain't giving it to you. You don't know how to work on them. Just give me my money back. What it was is he knew he got rain in it. He wanted his money back. He was going to pitch a fit. He was going to get on Facebook. See, that's where you guys are wrong. I don't mean to be mean to you, but that's where you're wrong. They'll get on Facebook and they say, oh, he put a carburetor on it. It won't run 2 days afterwards. And I can get down in the comments and say, well, okay, it rained and there's water in the gas. You're going to get a 50-50 out of that. You're going to get some people are going to agree with me and some people are going to agree with him. Can I really afford to lose 50% of my customers? And the answer is no, I don't think I can. So what do? You give the money back. And you lose money. So I've really been trying to figure out what I'm going to do because I don't know exactly how to run a company where you're constantly just giving away free work and free parts. There's some customers that are really good about it. There's that Gravely down there. He roughhouses it. And you can tell that he's hoping that it's a warranted item. But he knows he roughhouses it. I mean, yesterday he said, "Uh-oh, my bad." So that tells you that he knows. He knows the blades are all beat up and piece of it's rounded off. So he knows he did it. So I don't know how to balance that. I would love to have customers like him, but I get a lot of customers that are, no, just fix my lawnmower and for free. And if you don't, I'm getting on Facebook. I mean, I was actually threatened with Facebook, so I know that's what was going to happen. So, you know, I said I want to shift this channel over to, well, in about 4 years, I wanted to start flipping lawnmowers. You know, I'm really trying to figure out how I can do that sooner, so I don't have to work with customers, because it's just, I don't know if it's worth it. When you spend all day working on a lawnmower for a few bucks, you could go out and have lunch on the money I make on a part that he needed to replace. So if you'll click this up next box to take the video over to my other channel, I'll really appreciate it if you go check it out. So if I can inspire you to, I don't know. I don't know how to deal with people. That's all I can tell you. I guess some people understand it. I don't. So you can live your dreams. Thanks for watching.